I recently got a hold of the Summoner's War art book. Now this thing has a lot of information, content, and concept sketches that can't be found in the actual game, and I started a series where I go through different selections and talk about lost designs and secrets of the Summoner's War we never had. This time we're starting with the Archangels, who released on April 17th, 2014. Makes sense since Artemiel's the app icon, so it'd be hard to launch without him. Before we get into the juicy stuff, we'll go through the opening pages. It's not often we get to have such a close look at the armor detail. The gauntlets, greaves, and crest are all on full display. We also get a look at some concept sketches that, based on the halo, seem like they're for the Guardian of Sanctuary skin. The next page features concept art for 12 Archangel skins. There's a lot here to look at, so pause if you want to see everything, but here are my favorites. This first one seems to be depicting an Archangel in battle gear. This is heavy armor that makes him feel more grounded, like it'd be almost hard to imagine him fighting anywhere above the floor. In fact, it feels almost more suited for the Dragon Knights than the Archangels. This one's particularly interesting to me because it seems like it didn't get too far in the design process. Notice how the wings and halo are both placeholders. The halo itself is still a sketch. While I don't know exactly why this one got halted so early, it could be because it lacks that floaty quality of the Archangel design, and the general muted darkness of the armor may have made it difficult to make each element feel unique. Moving on, this one highlights the relationship between light and dark, the sun and moon expressed by the bright side and the crescent moon, halo, and inky wing respectively. This feels like an angel with a foot in Fallen Angel. At first glance, this looks like the Decadent Shine skin, but this one looks to be a version or two behind the one that we have in-game. It's got two overtly different parts. One is the halo. They've been dabbling in a straighter, pointed halo in a few of these designs, but it looks like the circular aspect is one we're not likely to part with anytime soon. The second difference is in the wings. They seem to have a point that doubles back towards the body. It's like a serif in the concept art. Which do you like better, the serif or sans serif we have in-game? These three I'll group together. All three give the feeling of an angel masquerading as a human, like something disrupted their undercover activities and thrust them into action. Though this one has a distinctly sinister aura. In the opening paragraph of this section, they say that when designing the Archangels, they felt that even though mysterious, they seem to exert a good influence somehow. And the darker aura plays with that and asks, what would happen if we let the Archangels drift from that righteousness? This group of three are some of my favorites because, well, I'm starting to think I just have a thing for casual outfits on my otherwise serious monsters. Now this one is actually my favorite of the bunch. He's got that floatiness of the Archangels that I referenced earlier, but this time he seems to be held aloft by magic. Notice they ditched the wings for this Archangel becomes Archmage concept, totally deconstructing the idea of the monster. I could see why that may cause identity problems with the monster, especially in places like RTA, but I can't help but love it. The real star of this one is that chain sword, though it looks like they also toyed with the idea of an umbrella sword and a hat. I love seeing stuff like this. While I won't say what I think this is based on because, again, I'm not going to get a copy strike for this show, I'll leave the guessing to you on that. What I will say is that I so appreciate getting a look at where the design team draws inspiration from, and I think it's great that the art book is the medium where they can put those sketches. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Chimera family. Before potential transmogs, the book actually shows concepts for the base design of the monster family. Seems like they finalized the face and body pretty early in the process. In the description that's given, they reference that the Chimeras have a rough appearance, but they don't look evil, and I think they nailed that. So the main point of contention was the armor. Here we can see the cuffs they have in their unawakened form were originally meant to be shackles with chains and ancient scribbling. There was a dragon-themed set in the running, and later they toyed with scars and different fur densities. The final design ends up being a less is more approach, and I think it works really well for the character. The Chimeras also got skin concepts that I'm frankly bummed we don't get to have in-game. They all share a stance and horn structure with the legendary hero skins, so I think these were variants before settling on the one. In fact, it's even shown in the lineup. This variant looks to be the closest to the final product, featuring furled wings and a gold trim, while this one has a more muted brass trim and fully unfurled wings, which is cool to see because I think the closest thing we have to seeing their full wingspan in-game would be the heavy metal skin. This one makes the wings feel huge, they take up more space than the monster himself, and it makes him feel intimidating, like he's trying to appear larger than life. Here's one that takes the starting point of the base monster but adds an element of fire. There's a fluidity there that makes me think it could flow like magma. I love this one, but I understand that it may not have made it too far because it could be jarring having fire so heavily featured on, say, Teor, the water chimera. But then I can't account for the nature of the Flame Ruler Phoenix skin on Sigmaris, or the idea of a Fire Sea Emperor in general, so maybe there's another reason we just don't know. Now this next one may have been the starting point for my favorite of the bunch, but I'll save that for last. It's still that legendary hero transmog in spirit, but ditching the gold in lieu of something else. And all that leading to my favorite one of the concepts shown. This Chimera skin features full armor made of bone. The subtle veiny streaks on the arms make me think that this could be natural growth for the gauntlets and crown rather than crafted out of fallen enemies by an artisan somewhere. Don't get me wrong, I really like how the final legendary hero skin came out, but I'll go for an over-exaggerated armor set that looks like a bony exoskeleton any day. Now that you know mine, which one is your favorite of the concepts shown for both Archangels and Chimeras? If you can't wait to see what else is in here, the Summoner's War art book is available now on the Come To Us online store that's linked in the description. And hey, if you like the series, stick around for more because the next episode will be coming soon. See you next time.